There you go. Hey, what's going on? Hello, everyone. Hey, hello to the chat. Welcome to the Black Man Unfiltered Network. So I got another interesting one for you guys this week. I mean, I try to come up with these things. So I think we can have fun with this one. Maybe it's going to dispel some myths. Maybe it'll keep some alive. But this is going to be interactive because we're definitely going to need some female participation on this one. So thanks for coming in tonight. I know we got to wait a little while for some more folks to come in. But as we go through some of the clips, it's okay if people are up on the panel, we could talk about it because I have some questions for you guys. And, so of course, the title of this particular live stream is The Quest for a Marriageable Black Woman, right? So I didn't just make that up. We're all on these YouTube spaces, there's YouTube streets, and there's a lot of talk that there's no marriageable Black women out there. And I found a guy who said he found one. And no, he's not 95 years old like me. This guy's a young man. He's in good shape. And he said he found himself a unicorn. Now, he didn't call her a unicorn. I'm calling her a unicorn based on all the complaints I hear for all these guys. Because if there's one thing about me, and I think I'm right on this one, y'all can, if y'all have clips, I tell the guys all the time that there are some women out there, you just got to look harder. You got to look harder. You got to weed through the bullshit to find them. And I don't think the guys want to really do that. They don't want to take any chances. And I'm not just talking about marriage, but in order for that to meet a woman with the criteria you want, you just got to go through a lot of women. And when I say go through, let's pause for a second. I'm not saying banging them out. I'm saying audition them. Vet them, whatever you want to call it. See what kind of criteria you have. And one of the things you got to do is make sure that your criteria is not unrealistic. It's not unrealistic, but make sure it is realistic. Because women have those crazy ass criteria too, and that's why they're going to be alone. But anyhow, if anybody's here, let me see who's in the chat. And I know we still have people coming in. Of course. Hey, how you doing, Rev? I saw you out there. I know Dr. Still said he was in. Milani, you said you're in. And I know, like me, as a retired man, I have nothing but time on my hands. So I try to fill it with some good stuff, So that's why I thank BMU for this platform. So I like to fill my day with things. Still looking after my kids and doing stocks and all that kind of stuff. Coming up with videos on my channel. This is kind of nice to get out there and just talk a little bit. So, but before we, if anybody wants to come up, you could come up, but I have something for you. And I want to make sure, what I really want to make sure is that we don't take this into a negative bent. On last Friday, we had a few newcomers on the channel. And Sharon came on and said, men should never say that Black women are the least marriageable. And on the surface of it, I agree with them. But especially if you just spew it with no context or nothing like that, right? So when you just say shit like that and it's just disparaging, I can see how people get upset. But if you say it in the context of talking about dating and marriage and statistics, and the concept doesn't just leave it there, it says why, and all of it's not 100% true, but there's some basic themes that you can't argue with, then that context matters where people have to have a little bit more thick skin. So what I'm going to do here is say that I found a list somewhere on the internet, right, where they said that there's 10 reasons why Black men don't marry Black women, or not Black men, but men in general are not likely to marry Black women. But before I start that, one of the things that brings more context to it is that there's a significant amount of Black women who don't want to be married. It's not a small number, right? There's a significant amount of Black women who say, let's just put it that way, who claim they don't want to be married. So if you take their word for it, so you have to take them out of the pool, right, of numbers that you count. And then there's a lot of Black women who are college educated, and they want that college education to matter. It doesn't matter whether they're going for basket weaving or something even more lucrative. They want men who are equally yoked, and they're willing to spend overpriced money to get that education and to get that degree and spend their 20s doing all that shit. And there's a lot of black men in particular, and a lot of men in particular say that's not worth it anymore. Right? I'm gonna just get a vocation, I'm gonna learn a trade, and I'm gonna go out there and make money with my hands, make money doing some things that people need, whether it's a recession, whether it's cold outside, whether it's hot outside, whatever it is. I can make money by fueling the economy. I mean, by serving the economy because I have some skill that people need. And you don't need a college education for a lot of that. And thus, they don't have the debt that women are willing to take on to get that degree. But there's a significant amount of black women who reject those blue collar men. So if you have the ones who don't want to get married and the black women who look down on regular men who work hard for a living, and it's a lot of y'all, let's admit it. There's a lot of y'all who look down on men like as if there's no books outside of a university. So that eliminates another big corner of black women in terms of being marriageable, because they're looking for a small amount of men that may not, in fact, be looking for them. So, and I'm saying all this because I'm going to bring it into the context of saying, in this modern era, we still found a man who said he found a woman who's absolutely marriageable and she hits all the boxes. But before we get there, I want to say one thing. I want to go over the list. Right. I want to go over the list of the top 10 reasons why black men say they don't want to marry, or men in general. I shouldn't say black men. Mr. Israel, hello, how you doing? I hope you caught the first part of this, because when I go over this list, I don't want anybody to take it out of context. That I'm just saying this is why everybody's shitting on you guys, because it's just a stupid list on the internet. Some of it may be true, some of it may be triggering. But with all of this being said, when I get to it, there's still men who want to marry black women. That's the bottom line. So here's the list, right? So I don't have it on the screen. I'm going to just read it to you. The first on the list is that black women are nasty, have nasty attitudes, and bad disposition. Okay, take that for what that's worth, right? They're uncooperative. Number two, uncooperative. And they're opposed to all kinds of leadership, especially from men, maybe especially from black men. Or masculine, I don't like that one. Lack femininity, I don't like to call women masculine. They just lack femininity, and they may be a little rough around the edges. That doesn't make them masculine, because I think that demeans what masculinity really is. Because women have no idea what being masculine is, if you ask me. So that's just my pet peeve. Don't value their virtue. That's a big one. I talk about women's virtue all the time, and I think women say, hell with virtue. That's all feminism talking. Now, let me be clear. Virtue doesn't mean that you have to be a virgin. You know, virtue doesn't mean that you have to be a virgin. I see a black man. What's we say? What's the opposite of femininity? Well, the opposite of femininity in context is, you could say it's masculinity, but for a woman, the opposite of femininity is a lack of femininity. That's what that is, if you ask me. It's a void of femininity. But if you call them masculine, that means they actually act like men and they know how to. And I disagree with that. They just hard. And, you know, we could talk about that, you know. Yeah, but that the context that I'm talking about. Hey, listen, you know, this is an English language, y'all. So I can take liberties in the way I want to interpret what the opposite of masculine, because there's men who are not masculine in terms of the way they behave, but that doesn't make them feminine. They're not walking with their wrists limped, you know, and they ain't, you know, turning into butt buddies, right? So, you know, I mean, we can get into that, but that's just like a sidebar. You know, maybe we could talk about that when y'all get up here. Okay, so what's number 6? Number 5 is don't prioritize fitness. Well, I resemble that remark. You know, over the course of a lifetime, I fell short of that, but there's a lot of black chicks who hell with it, man. Just pass the hoagie, please. And 6, they disregard the global ethnic image. Well, they, you know, our image is trash. The women that black women being portrayed around the world is absolute trash, and it's hard to deny that. They're egotistical and they reject criticism. Well, that's not a black woman thing. That's an all woman thing. And women can't stand to be criticized and all that shit. But black women, y'all take shit to the new level. Have no loyalty and unwilling to invest and build in a man. I think that's unwilling to invest and build in black men. I know that's for sure, because there's no shortage of women saying that shit all over TikTok and Instagram and YouTube. If a man ain't at the finish line, they don't have anything to do with him, especially if he's black. And so then 9 doesn't tend to need doesn't tend to a man's ego. Yeah, that's another one. Hey, hello, what's going on, TC? Yeah, listen, that's another one, right? And again, I'm gonna tie this list into when we get to the man who says he found 11 reasons why he's marrying a woman he's marrying, the black woman he's marrying. So even with this list, I got a couple more, but even with this list, I want to keep going back. I don't want you ladies to get too triggered first. And if any of y'all want to come up, that'll be good, because as I tie this into where we're going with this in the end, we could come back to some of these things on the list. These are all stereotypes, right? Some of them are true. A lot of them have a modicum of truth, but it doesn't end there, because, there's still 30% of women out there I think are marriageable. They say that's low, but it's statistically significant. Okay. And here's the big one about not being able to tend to a man's ego. I just saw a video. I think it's on TikTok. I don't know if it was Crimson Cure. There was a mother whose son had a girlfriend, and he was telling his girlfriend a couple of things he needed her to do. And his mother took the phone from him and told his girlfriend, look, this nigga is broke. He's broke. You don't have to listen to him. She's in the car laughing at her own son. This right in front of his girlfriend. She emasculated him. This is his mother, by the way. That guy's going to grow up to probably be a bodybuilder, and he'll probably won't have the emotions of a jelly bean. So he'll probably shoot somebody at the first sign of somebody emasculating him. That's how you build those monsters. Anyway, and 10 has no grounded sense of being submissive. And the good thing about that word is women hate that word, but my man in this video talks about what he means by submissive. And so maybe that'll shed light. Because one of the things I want you ladies to do is, as he goes through his 11 steps, I want you to reflect on how many of those things you qualify for, right? That's what you can do, right? I mean, that's the purpose why you're here. How many of these things this guy is going to talk about that you qualify for? That would be great. That'd be somebody, if y'all want to come up and discuss it and say, this guy's pie in the sky, he's this and that, I'm game for that. Listen, it's not tit for tat. I'm not saying I'm right and you guys are wrong. I'm thinking you'll find his list interesting, because if any of you out there want to be married, maybe it might be a list that's worth emulating, right? So anyway, so there's the bad list, right? So put that bad list in the backdrop of the good list we're going to talk about in a little while. But for right now, before anybody who wants to come up, you can. But can we play the 50 Cent clip? Yeah, let's play the 50
Maybe
Cent
I'm jaded
clip,
because I spent a lot of time in Hollywood.
Yeah, he might be looking for a wife, but he says something real good. So then when you get a chance, just
opponent of marriage. Maybe I'm jaded because I spent a lot of time in Hollywood, where I've learned husband is really just another way of saying my serious boyfriend. At the end of the day, I view marriage as a business deal, and not a particularly good one for the person coming into the relationship with the most money. But as I get older, I start to find myself getting more open to the idea of settling down and building a more stable family life. When I go through the mental checklist, the things I look for in a potential wife, I'm not starting with looks or fame. Those qualities aren't as important to me anymore. The most critical quality for any woman I'm going to be interested in is self-sufficiency, both financial and emotional. Otherwise, I'm always going to think they're just trying to get me to sign one of those bad contracts. As I was telling a friend the other day, taking care of a woman is not a bad concept, but taking care of a woman who has to be taken care of is a terrible concept.
All right, let's end it there. That last line is gold, right? That last line is really gold, right? What do you think about his perspective? There's another question. Anybody who wants to answer that? Listen, was he talking about a male version of hypergamy? That makes sense to me. Any man would, and if he had a criteria, what criteria could he really trust other than finding a woman who doesn't need his money? Right? I mean, how could you really be sure at his level that a woman is going to want him for him? It's not a really good place to be, to tell you the truth. Right? I can see a man of his stature really feeling uncomfortable signing any kind of government contract with a woman based on whatever the criteria is out there. Even the 11 steps that my man is talking about that we'll get to, I don't think that will fulfill the needs for a guy like 50 Cent. I think the number one thing he has to do is find a woman who's financially equally yoked, where whatever prenup that they set up or whatever, it will stand up a little better in court than a woman who needs his money and stuff like that. It's a sad existence if you really want to be married, right? So he's 48 years old now, and unlike a woman at 48 years old, he's still viable. You know, if everything still works, he can still have a family, more of a family. He got kids already. You see how that works out. So he might want to go ahead and try again with a new woman. You know, so. Hey, lost in translation. What's going on, man? Yeah. Can 50 Cent really date up? Of course, it depends who's available. But he has the same dilemma as anybody else, right? Think about the women who talk about dating up. First of all, a lot of women don't want him. A lot of men won't want those women who want to date up, who think they have too much money for the regular man because they're a little older and they're a little tainted. But there's some rich women out there. Maybe 50 Cent could be that might be endeared to him. I don't know. I see you, Travel One. I see you out there. So Anton in the chat. Listen, any of you guys can come up and tell me what you think right now if you want to, and then we'll get into the pièce de résistance. You know, the guy. Yeah, I know, man. You know what? I know. Shit, man. Give me some stature, you know. They open doors for you now that I have a beard, man. Shit, man. It's weird, you know. And my wife won't let me shave it off. She's been harboring a man with a beard all these years. I didn't know it. Damn it. You know, so I'm taking full advantage of it now. I see what y'all saying about. So listen, whenever you guys are ready, I have some questions for the ladies. I asked them already. Let's go ahead and jump to the part one. Yeah, come on, jump up on a few, man. Hey, come on, you're welcome. If we could go to the second clip and hit the first part of that, and so people could see who we're talking about, who has his 11 steps. There's some things that's missing from it. His girl doesn't talk on there. However, you get a chance to see what she looks like and see why he picked her. But you'll also find out a little bit about him as well. And we'll just go through the first part on 2A. Neo Moses, yeah, you can jump on up. Easy Money, you can jump up too, man. You know,
like big. Babe, go upstairs. It would be kind of weird if I record this while you're sitting right there. But first, can you bring me some water? All right, so I want this video to be kind of conversational. I want this to be like big bro to little bro or bro to bro, right? And the reason why I'm making this video is because I want to share my opinion on things that men who share my values. Let me say that. Men who share my values, things that they should be looking for in a potential life partner, if that's what they're looking for. Let me say this. I've had 2 failed marriages. I've had plenty failed relationships. I've also spent a lot of time learning myself, healing, therapy, meditation, like really addressing my shit. And I think that qualifies me to share my opinion on what I think a brother with the values that I have, right, should look for in a potential partner. It didn't take me long to figure out that this woman was the one I wanted to spend my life with. Let me also preface that this video may trigger some women and even some men. So now that that's out the way, let's talk about the 10 reasons why I'm going to marry my now fiance, all right? The first reason we share very traditional values, right? Her aspirations in life was to be a great mom and a great wife. That's what she wanted to do. That was her dream, right? I'm a very traditional man at this stage in my life. I want to be the provider. I want to be the protector. I am very aligned with gender roles. I think relationships are like businesses. Everyone needs to have a job and be really clear on their roles in order for things to function properly. Now, in my relationship, the roles are pretty traditional, but that doesn't mean every relationship has to be like mine. I just want to add that I know men who are stay-at-home men, right? And their wife makes all the money, and that's fine. If that works for them, I love it for them. That's just not for me. Not only do we share the traditional family dynamic values, we also share the religious values, right? Spiritual values. We also share financial values. So there's alignment there foundationally, which I think is very important. The second reason why I'm going to marry this woman, she was raised in a very strong two-parent household, and that was very important to me. She has a very good relationship with her dad. Her mom is very respectful to her dad. They've been together for a very long time. They've been through ups and downs. So she's witnessed what it takes to.
Did it go out? What happened? Hello? I think we stopped a little short.
That's the cutoff for the first one. It goes into the next one though whenever you're ready.
Yeah, I wanted him to finish the third one, but that's okay. We can work around it. Listen, hey, it's a couple of Red Planet, what's happening? Anybody want to come up and talk about what they just saw, or else we could just go right into the next one, just so we can keep going.
She doesn't like attention from social media. She has a very small Instagram account that is private. She actually has more friend requests than followers. She only have a couple hundred followers. She doesn't really post herself that often. And that's something that I value. Despite me being in social media, I never wanted a woman who enjoyed the limelight of social media, that likes the attention, that kind of feeds off the attention on social media. She can care less. She don't care nothing about social media, and I love that about her. Reason number 5, she's submissive by nature. Now, I know that word is triggering to a lot of women, but here's the thing. Being submissive is not being passive, is not being controlled. She allows me to lead. Now, let me say this. Not every man deserves a submissive woman. A lot of men out here talking about they want their women to submit. Like, you have to create that safe space. You have to earn the trust of that woman in order for her to submit to you. I'm not going to get in my bag about that situation, but the whole submissive terminology gets twisted out of context. It is mutual respect, but she allows me to lead. I protect her. I provide for her. She takes care of the house. She cooks for me. She does my feet. We take care of each other. She can get anything she wants from me. But the beautiful thing is, she doesn't want much, which in turn inspires me to give her even more. And I love that. Another reason why I'm marrying her. Reason number 6, she takes really good care of herself. Her hair is always done. Her nails are always done. She works out. She eats good. This is a woman who really takes pride in her appearance, and no matter where we are. And I love that about her. That's her feminine nature, her softness. She always wants to present well because she knows she's always representing me. And I love that she considers that. She dresses very classy. It's never super revealing. Yes, she's attractive, but also very classy. Very important to me. Reason number 7, she's young and she doesn't have all the mileage. She hasn't been ran through by Tom, Dick, and Harry. She don't have a bunch of trauma on her from dealing with fucking weak ass dudes who are abusive. She doesn't have any of that on her spirit, which makes her feel super light. And she has this like pureness about her that I really, 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 really cherish.
All right. Listen, I had a couple of questions that I posed based on what he said, right? And, anybody could come up and, instead of just have a dialogue on it. One, he said he had 2 failed marriages. Okay? Yeah, easy, buddy. Get your ass up here and tell me why it's all cap, man. Yeah, stop hiding in the weeds, man. We need to talk. So he had 2 failed marriages. Now, does that make him because of that, does that make him a better judge of character? I mean, maybe he just wants another woman, but I like the list he came up with so far. What about you? Let me ask another thing. With all the guys who are saying they can't find any marriageable black women, where did he find her? He didn't talk about having a passport. Where did he find her? Where do you think where did he find that woman?
Can I jump in on that one?
Yeah, of course.
If you look at that woman, listen, this is not history. I don't want to hear no shit. Okay. but I agree. I agree for the first time in history with Easy Money. I think it's cap. Not because he's going to get married, but because of who he's marrying. Look at that woman. That woman is fine as shit.
Yeah.
She's beautiful. She got that pretty yellow skin, beautiful smile, long hair. She work out. She fit for everything that Kevin Samuel said that woman is. And so when you're doing that 8 out of 10 bullshit, like 8 out of 10 women are morbidly obese, all that, where are they coming from? I agree with Easy Money. Come on up. I agree with you.
Wait a minute, man.
What's up, baby?
Fellas, what's happening, man?
What's happening, man? Well,
hey,
go ahead, Jeff. What's up?
I'm just, our Payne, this is the first time I caught you. I don't know how long you've been getting down. I dig your vibe, brother. I think I'm gonna be arrogant enough to throw myself over in there. I think our senior perspective is absolutely necessary right now. Like I said in the chat, you look like a judge on the bench right now with that chair behind you, and they can talk all the shit they want about us because we got curtains, but that's something grown ass men have. It's curtains. Your young ass ain't got none because you ain't shopped enough. But I got a few things to say, but this your show. You tell me what.
All right. Well, let me ask you. I want to still get to BMU. Okay, so we looked at it. Are you saying because
where BMU?
I don't know. He's just a voice in the ether, right?
Oh, what's up, man?
Huh?
I said, what's up to me?
What's up, my brother?
Yeah. Okay. BMU. Tell me why the fact that she's fine makes it all cap.
No, I'm saying the fact that he's giving advice that other men will be able to find this woman that he has is cap.
No,
there's no way.
He didn't say you're going to go find. He said he found one. God damn it. So the point is this. Listen, okay. Every time I say that there's marriageable black women out there, everybody gives me the dinosaur treatment. You know, was the last woolly mammoth you rode and all that other kind of horse shit. And I'm saying that I believe that even if there's only 30% of women and black women who are marriageable, that's still a statistically significant sample of women. Maybe it's less, maybe it's 20. But people say you could change the world with a critical mass of 10%. You know, so the point I'm trying to say is that I want the young guys to don't give up hope that you could find somebody. So here's a guy in the modern era. You know, he used to be 300-something pounds, by the way. That dude that we just saw, you know, so he lost some weight and got on in the gym and all that kind of shit. And so he found a chick. Where did he find her? He didn't say he had a passport. You know, she got the look. What the fuck does that mean, Easy Buddy? Anyway, so we got a couple more segments. Jeff, you want to talk now or you want to wait to see the last couple?
Well, I want to push back on this. I say directly to black men, and I'm going to talk to you blunt. Either say that there are no decent black women in the 48 contiguous states, or shut the fuck up. I'm tired of it. If you're saying there's none, then fine. I don't believe that. I'd ask you to explain the sisters in the Nation of Islam. I'd ask you to explain, and I say the same thing all the time, and all niggas do is complain, but they never get back to me on this. There are sisters in the YouTube space that makes sense. Why not? Oh shit, there goes Smitty. Why not?
Smitty, man. What the fuck?
Why not? I've said this over and over. Go to their chat. Look at the sisters in the chat that are speaking that makes sense. Find out if any of them sisters live in your city and take that sister out for some coffee at 2 PM. If you do that 3 times and them sisters ain't shit, fine. But get back to me on it. All this, you can't find them. Okay, well then shut the fuck up about it. I can't find gold in my closet. There are no gold bars in my closet. So guess what, Payne? I'm not going to come up here and complain to you that ain't no gold bars in my closet. They just ain't. So you got to pick.
I'm hearing you. Hey, what's going on, Neo? I don't know if you've been up here before. You probably have. I can't remember. But
yeah, I've been on a few panels with Black Man Filter. I just come on this topic because I was just listening to somebody on this topic just recently on YouTube. So I was like, let me just get on this conversation, see what you got to say. I'm just listening to monologues. I want to hear what you have to say first before I come on right away. So I'm just listening for a little bit.
Okay, so you're gonna wait a little while. You don't have anything, no opening line, no nothing.
My opening line will say this. I think the brother who just spoke, I agree. There are women hidden in this country in America. We're the tis of the great American we're in. It's just, the thing is, we're seeing the time that is such a scarce thing we're seeing with the femininity. It's a problem here that we're not seeing it on a regular basis. So, I mean, if you're going to look high and low, you have to be in certain places. But the thing is, keep in mind, this is a world we're in. We're not just in America as the world. We're in the whole world as more than what we're offering here. And I've noticed with the economy, with the women we're creating from the culture, it's just so many reproducing the same mindset. And it's not to say they're all the same, don't get me wrong, especially in the Black community. But I'm looking at the biggest picture as, can we see the women become what they say they are? Because I personally don't like this thing we're seeing is conditional femininity. That is an issue that I've come across where you'll be feminine for the right guy. And because of that, we now see more women play the role to fit the part to make sure they're picked. But the thing is, when they know where you're heading to do the work, they're not wanting you doing the work. They want you to be complete. But that's not how it works when you find a man of value, because the man of value had to do the work to get to become the man of value. See, the thing is, they don't want the man with the work. They want the man that's already at the line, that's finished.
Of course.
It's not, brother. It's not what they want.
This
is another problem. It's not what they want. Read Isaiah 4, bruh. It's going to be 7. Look. Here's the math. Sisters hate this math, but it's the truth. First, that thing, I'm gonna be feminine first. Well, here's your problem. We look for femininity, especially now, like we on a dark road and we need gas. We need to see the gas light on first before we pull over. We ain't finna pull into a gas station with the lights off. So if you don't turn that femininity light on, any dude that's really moving is gonna move right past your ass. Now, number 2, she gonna act feminine to get the gig. Brother, a bullfrog can hold his breath for 4 hours. Don't be in a rush. The world, young Black man, the world is your goddamn oyster. It's your oyster. This is what I say to sisters. Let them talk all the shit they want to you. When they get done, say, oh yeah? Well, counting all the dudes you don't like for all the very valid reasons you don't like them. The sweet pickles, the day-days, the dog faces, the dirty bums that don't want shit, the dudes that'll beat your ass. Counting all of them. And then before you count the rest of the world's women wanting to fuck us and pushing and shoving in that line, you outnumber us by 2 million. I don't need to take none of your shit. Not the first time you get in a disagreement louder than the radio, she is fucking fired. There's too many of them. Why? It's like you have to prove to me that you are fine china. Until then, as soon as I see paper plate behavior, I'm done with you.
Hey Jeff, let me interrupt before let Smitty go ahead. one of the things I hear what you're saying, and I do agree, but give me a percentage of black men, a whole lot of them who ain't getting no box, could actually do what you just said.
Okay, let's call it 4%. I'm not talking to the rest. It's a lot of dudes that don't
no,
deserve
I'm not, but you know the point I'm trying to make. It's a small number of guys who have that.
I only talk that, but well, this is the point I'm making, Payne.
Okay.
I'm not talking to every man. I'm not. If you can't do the following, I don't care if you living in a box under a bridge or you got 50 million in the bank. If you can't dress yourself properly, if you can't protect yourself properly, if you can't be courteous, interesting, and show a woman a good time safely, if you go out and see a woman you want to talk to, but you'd rather get on the phone and text, then nigga, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to goddamn grown ass men. I'm not talking about all these niggas complaining about box. It's a gang of them that don't brush their fucking teeth and cut their hair. I'm not talking to them dudes. I'm talking to the rare percentage that deserve women. No. So I'm cutting it both ways, bro. I ain't fuck all these dudes. I see a bunch of dudes belly aching that I'd let my gun loose if I caught them near my daughter.
All right, man. Hey, Smitty, man. Hey, welcome aboard. Hey, listen, after you go, man, we're gonna finish that video. There's a couple more lines going. What's up, Smitty? What brings you here, man? What's happening?
What's the premise of what y'all talking about? Now, I just wanted to show you some love. Well, you come over and show me some love and support.
Yeah, well, the title of this whole live stream is that the quest for the marriageable black woman. Right, so we got a guy who's going through the 11 reasons why he found a woman he wants to marry, and I think we're up to 6 or 7. But if we can go ahead and play the rest of that clip, you'll catch up what we're talking about.
Okay.
8, she has deep reverence and admiration for me. She looks at me like a superhero, but you know what? The feeling is mutual. I have deep admiration for her, deep respect for her. I adore this woman. Listen, I'm getting goosebumps right now. Look, I've never looked at a woman and felt such adoration and admiration in my entire life. Reason number 9, her presence calms my spirit. We have harmony, even in the middle of conflict, because yes, of course, sometimes I get on her nerves, sometimes she get on my nerves. But even when we are having conflict, there's always peace, there's always harmony. It always feels like we're on the same team. No matter what, whether we're beefing or not, it still feels like we're on the same team. And I think that's important. That's a rare thing, extremely rare. But that's because our relationship is built on trust. 1000% trust. It's not built on love. It's not built on sex, even though those things are present. And the sex is amazing. I'm not going into details. I'm going to respect my fiance. But we have harmony. And I think a harmonious relationship was a non-negotiable for me. Reason number 10, she calls me out on my shit. She does not allow me to operate below my standard. If I am operating in fear, if I'm operating in anything other than my godly nature, she checks me on that shit. She has no problem calling me out when I'm BSing, when I'm vibrating on a low frequency. She will call me out. And I love that because I need that. Reason number 11, she is 1000% my type. She is my spec. If I had to close my eyes and create a wife, she would look exactly like her. She would have her same temperament. She would have her same personality. She would have everything about her is exactly what I would create if I was to create a wife from scratch. She is my type. And I think that's important. Do not negotiate. If you look at your woman and you don't want to eat her ass every time you see her, don't marry her. Do not negotiate. She has to physically do it for you. I don't care what any gurus on the internet tells you, looks don't raise the kids and this and the third. I get it. That's true. Men, we are visual creatures. She got to do it for you. And you got to think about how she's going to look 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years from now. Look at her mom. Look at her mom. Use that as a guideline. But you got to have that physical attraction. It's important. And that polarity is important. She's deeply in her feminine. I'm deeply in my masculine. We have our roles. We have an understanding of how things go. And we're not letting the opinions of social media or our friends or our families have anything to do with the way we exist in our relationship. Period.
All right. Yeah, okay, Jeff. Go ahead. Yeah, we'll get Smitty in after you, man. I know you're chomping at the bit, man. You're on mute. You're still on mute.
That's wild.
I was with the young man. I was with him. I was with him because I got all that. I've been married 12 years. I've been with my woman 14. And I was with him. I was running right with him until he got to the eat ass part. And I just want to know if maybe that's a generational thing, because our generation was well aware of hepatitis B. I buy the groceries and we eat the food. I eat the new food. I don't eat the old food. So
let me cut you off for a second, Jeff. Let me cut you off.
Okay,
what I'm giving him is he's firing for effect. He's using hyperbole to get a point across. I
think he's eating ass.
Well, listen, I'm gonna give the man the benefit of the doubt, because all the rest of this shit that he said, I can see the reflection in me and my wife. And one of the things, but I never, in my whole adult sexual life, I never thought about eating nobody's fucking ass. Okay, I don't care who they are. So I mean, so I don't want to get hung up on that. So I'm giving him a pass. I think it's hyperbole to get a point across, but you guys don't have to. But I don't want to get Smitty in here. But go ahead.
Jaundice and his kidneys start hurting. That's
look and see what Lou Medic said. He said the only thing I wish he wouldn't do is celebrate shacking up. That is big. Anytime getting buns on the regular would be happy like this. Any man that does.
Right. Well, he said he's engaged. Yeah.
Y'all can hear me? All right, cool, bro. Yeah. I find it absolutely spectacular in you men's ability to have even lasted past reason number 4. Sir, I don't know what the hell y'all heard past 4. Y'all really heard 5 through the rest? Really? Bro, it's real simple. Okay. Now, see, the thing is this. This is when I get to questioning, because I talk about this, right? Intentions. That man did not listen. Was that a message for us? Because if it really was, then you would know you don't need to be long and drawn out like that with men, because it ain't that much shit that we want. We real deal, truly want primarily cooperation. And when I say cooperation, I don't mean in a submissive way. No, I mean just work with me, not against me. That's all. We work together. Cool beans. I heard him on that part, right? And then he kept on talking about the bliss. Most men, when you are fully established and you have your ducks in a row and all your shits together, we value our peace. I want a woman who does not disturb my peace and who cooperates with me. I don't, all that other shit, what? Because the fact is that respect, cooperation, and peace, all that other shit he talking about falls right underneath that umbrella. So I don't need to be all long and drawn out about that. You see? I mean, I get where he's coming from, definitely. And I don't knock anything the man just said. But honestly, truly, I mean, as the man in which who I know I am, I didn't need all that shit. Well, don't we know the old little joke like mall thing with like men, we just stop at the second floor and women go all the way to the roof until there's nothing there type shit? Like, I mean, so I just heard a man talk his way to the roof.
Yep.
So it was you see what I'm saying? Like I picked that up. I peeped that.
Well, yeah.
Bruh, he was really long and drawn out. No, as men. Okay. We say we're simple all the time, and I'm landing it. We say we're simple. We say that, see, I know me in my mind, it's more so of like boxes and compartments, and I pull one out at a time and I put that back before I pull any other box out. And that's how I keep my mind of the garage organized. Women are more like that ball of yarn. Everything is all intertwined, the feelings with the truth and what happened, what they feel like, what happened, and everything else. And that's just some real shit. So all I'm saying is that me as a mind of boxes and compartments, that shit was a lot of shit. And it was unnecessary to me. That's all I'm saying. I'm not taking away from what he said, but it was unnecessary.
So who's the message really for?
You asking a question, so let me just say this.
I'm just saying it. If you feel like answering the shit, you can. But I'm just saying it.
Since I'm here as the moderator, I do feel like answering it. So let me answer, because he did come out and say why he was. He said he was talking to the fellas. If you might not have been in the beginning, so
I heard him say that.
Well, okay, so let me finish then. So what I'm saying is, if you think that's unnecessary, that's cool. I don't have any beef with that either. But I don't have any beef with the list. I mean, the damn video was only like 10 minutes long. So, but I understand where you're coming from, because my list is not that long either. But there are some things in there that might have been worth hearing from some people who might not be as astute as you, right? Who they might not be able to compartmentalize things under groups like that. Like, for example, when he said his woman kind of not worships him, exalts him, looks at him as her number one, I implore guys all the time, if you're going to be with a woman, especially marry her, you got to be goddamn sure that she views you as her number one choice. I think that's just important.
I think the thing that's being missed, brother Payne, respectfully, is that
let me finish. You can go ahead, because I'm gonna finish it out. I mean, you know what? Go ahead, because that's the point I wanted to make. There's a lot of things he said that the Nuggets would hit different with other men, maybe not with you. But go ahead, say what you're gonna say.
Respect to you. Respect and cooperation. Okay. A woman who respects you. Listen, the fact is this. See, this is why I say the nutshell. I don't need to have all the branches of the tree. I just need the main bark stalk of it. You see, I just need that. Listen, because from there with the root system, I get everything I want. I get shade from it. I get the fruits. I get everything. I don't need to go through each and individual branch of that tree. I know that the tree. So what I'm saying is the tree of it is this. The main tree and the roots is this: respect and cooperation. When a woman respects you, all of that, everything I'm talking about, 5 and up falls underneath that category. It's all that I'm saying.
It's in the respect.
I'm with you. I don't disagree.
Yes, the respect by itself warrants everything that you're talking about. I'm not disagreeing. I'm actually right on the same page with you. All I'm saying is, you said he's speaking to men. There's a way that men receive information. There's a way that women receive information. The way that I heard that's the way that I would talk to, relay a message to women more so than men. By the way he described it. That's it. I'm critiquing the way he delivered.
Okay. Smitty.
Not the message itself, because the message I agree with.
Can you hear me?
I just got a hard time with this envelope.
Well, hold on for a second, Smitty, because you segue into a question I have for the women.
Right?
Because you said that, the question I have for the women is the ones in the audience. What did he say? Do they see anything in themselves based on what he said that would be good for them if they're not married? Those attributes, those characteristics. I would, if it was a woman up here, that's what I would ask her. Did he say anything that sparks like, shit, man, if I weighed myself against what he's saying, do I meet any of that criteria? I think that would be an interesting. We can't answer that question for them, but the women in the audience can answer that one way or the other if they're not married. And if they are married, how much of that do you do for your husband? Is it just the respect part? That's all that matters? That's good enough. My wife respects me, and that's at the top of my list too. So I'm with you on that.
I think.
Well, now, would you say, Brother Payne, that the respect alone, if you really think about it, is the primary root system as to why whatever fruits grow and expand from that tree of love and loyalty and everything? Wouldn't you say the root system of that is the respect? And without that root system, what tree can live?
Listen, you're not getting any argument from me. I mean, it might sound like it.
It's not about an argument. All right, never mind.
When I use the word argument,
I ain't even trying to argue, brother. I'm really just expressing the point. Don't mind. Y'all know my energy.
I didn't mean argument in an argumentative way.
I ain't trying to argue. You know you my brother. That's why I came up. You know I mess with you, brother.
You got it, man.
You know you all right with me. I said I came up to show love, but I'm gonna be Smitty. I'm not gonna turn it down because I'm on your shit.
I'm so funny.
I'm gonna be Smitty now.
I was gonna say you're gonna
just like Uncle Jeff still can't see right now. He ain't changed that shit. He still ain't grown no hair. He still ain't changed that shit.
Oh, no,
But
I grow it. I grow it. It just grow like Sinestro
So
in Green
Neo,
Lantern. So I
okay,
shave.
Neo, you got something to say? You got something to say on
Reed,
that?
bro.
I'm just trying to listen and pay attention to what
Okay, that's
everybody's
cool.
saying. But well, I'm looking from a Christian point of view. I think the guy that was speaking on the panel, he spoke a lot of things. I can understand where he's coming from a society point of view, where he's coming from. Where the men were very simple, we're not too complex to understand. And I think the man on the video, he said a lot of things, which I agree with some. I don't know about the part with that we won't even speak on that. But the thing is, a lot of people complicate the idea of a man. Even social media, I saw a video come up on my feed with one of my friends. She sent me saying, "Oh, this is something about it was like a comment thing going on where if a man put a video out, everybody's saying something negative. But if he's putting something on if she puts out a video, it's like all the women start saying things about him being left like leave that man. It's like I don't know if that's an AI thing going on, but it's like a negative thing going on with the social media where they say one thing and then comments are coming in saying the other thing. You know what I'm saying? It's like a
Nah,
I
brother.
think I could.
What it is this. Women, remember the whole Cheesecake Factory thing? And then
yeah,
remember, there was this list that was going around. Who started the list? Was it men or was it women? And who turned around and was making fun of the list in a sarcastic way, in our humorous way? Men or women?
say it one more
Oh
time.
man.
The list. All right, so just to get to it, so I don't take too long. Women came out with this list. All these things if you're going to date. That was a big thing just like some months ago, right? So they came out with this list. I mean, us as the men, all around everywhere throughout the world in spaces and stuff, just started to like the drizzle thing, whatever. Like they just started to make fun and kind of give them a
Right.
taste of their own medicine. So we came out with a list, right? My point is this. That dude came out and he said, because listen, off rip, I'm gonna tell you right now, as a man, when he said 11 things that a man wants from a woman, I'm like, you need that many? Off rip. I didn't need to hear nothing he said. Again, I'm not knocking none of the things that he said. But all I'm saying is that all I need is cooperation and respect. If I get your cooperation and respect, all the other 8, 9, all the other 9, that falls under cooperation and respect.
I think you got
Everything
it.
that you're about to
And that's
do for me falls
I
under
think
those 2. I
no,
didn't
no.
need the other 9.
Is anybody unclear?
Go ahead, Jeff. Go ahead, Jeff. You got it.
I'm not unclear on that, Smitty. Please don't make that point again. I got it.
Okay, go ahead.
Let's move to what this young brother said about what that is, and you did bring up the fact that you were a Christian, so I'm a come from that book. It's not that, brother.
Did I say that, Uncle Jeff?
No, not you.
Oh, okay.
Not you. The brother here said that he was a Christian.
There's Neo Moses.
Yeah, brother Neo. I refer you to Isaiah chapters 3 and 4. Isaiah 3 will tell you who these women are. Isaiah 4 will tell you exactly where we're going, and we just about there.
Oh yeah, we here.
These lists, anything that a sister brings to you other than humility, she doing you a favor.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
My turn. There are 2 million more of them than us. So whenever they come out their mouth with anything other than humility at any time, anytime they got something slick to say about you, anytime they try to tie you to some bad experience, what they're doing is going, hi, me over here. Like Smitty said, I don't match up to number 3 and 4. I'm uncoachable. I've been wounded to the point that I feel I'm supposed to fight you.
Right.
I'm unreliable in a time of crisis because it ain't even a crisis and I'm in your face. That is wonderful news because we're 18-1 right now. Thank you so much for your foul attitude up front. Thank you for telling me that I can't take you to a place to eat that your mama and daddy probably went to. I go, please do this. Please show yourself so that I don't waste my time. That's exactly how you need to look at that. Let them disqualify themselves.
Of course.
Bingo.
Hey, welcome, Dr. Steele.
Well
And what's
said,
up,
Uncle
Anthony?
Jay.
Yeah, hey, there you go, Jeff. Hey, Dr. Steele. And what's it, Anton? That's you, right?
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, it's me, old man. What's going on?
All right.
What's
Hey,
going on,
go ahead,
fellas?
Dr. Steele. Let me get Dr. Steele, then we get you on right after him. How's that?
Okay.
Go ahead,
Yeah.
go ahead, Doctor.
Yeah, I see.
That's Avery, my daughter.
No problem. No problem. Go ahead, Steele.
Yeah, I see where the title.
She just likes to. No, when I come on, she likes to annoy me every now and then. You know, she likes to tease me. That's all.
All right. Hey, let Dr. Steele go ahead, man. You put yourself on mute for a second, man. Go ahead. Go ahead, Dr. Steele. Go ahead.
Yeah,
I'm on right now. We gotta go.
You got to go on mute, man. Go on mute, Anton. Go on mute. Go ahead, Dr. Steele.
okay. Yeah, I see where the
I
title.
just finished up. I just finished up.
Yeah, but let him go, man. You could come out after him, man. Come out after him. Go ahead, Dr. Steele. Go ahead.
Okay, where I see where it says the quest for a marriageable Black woman,
Right.
and I am on such a quest right now to look for a marriageable black woman right now, and I believe that they actually exist. Okay, but the challenge is, where to actually find them. I hear, you can find them. Well, clubs are the least likely, but they say you can find them anywhere, even a grocery store. And I'll be honest with you, I don't feel very comfortable shooting myself at somebody at a grocery store. I mean, could you imagine some stranger comes up to you, at a grocery store trying to talk to you? Because I sort of feel like I'm a stranger or some widow or some of that nature. But I guess some guys, pulled it off. But yeah.
So let me ask you a question while you're going.
No, please. Oh my gosh.
Hold on for a second, Smitty. Where are you looking? I'd like to know when you say you're looking. Where are you looking?
Why are you asking him that? That's the wrong question.
This show.
Wait, hold on for a second, man.
Smitty, I don't mind answering that. That question.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm looking at a dating site.
Okay.
I think that's basically the last place for a man my age, being 53, going on 54. It's the last place. I mean, I tried everything else,
Okay,
please, please,
just real quick for a second. We are all men. We are all men here. Whose fucking smoke detector needs a 9-volt? Fix that shit.
He's got tight over here.
Ain't supposed to be going on. That's a
Hey, hold tight. Look, and no disrespect, Brother Payne. No, what I'm saying is by this when I say, why are you asking him that? It's your show, of course. What I'm saying is this. My elder, respect. One thing that I do know is this. When you say, and I swear on life, I'm saying this respectfully, but I must say it. When you say at your age, you in your sage form, you, which should be in the most complete form that you possibly could be humanly wise.
Sage
The last place you should be is a dating app, sir. One thing that I do know is, because this is why I say, why did you ask him that as far as where are you looking? No, F all of that. My elder, respect to you. We don't look for them. We put ourselves in position to where we have to back them off. What do you mean? That's why I said that, Brother Payne. When you say like as soon as I heard my elder say where I'm looking for, I'm saying to myself, what? At your stage in life, I'm just pulling your coat because I love you. At your stage in life, looking? What? How much work have you done to perfect your craft?
I need to co-sign that when he's done, if I could.
How much have you put in to make sure that you are the most desirable man as possible? Because the fact is this, they outnumber us 15-1. They automatically seek us in numbers. How are you being missed? What's taking place? What are you doing or not doing? What have you perfected? What have you worked on? What have you not worked on? And I'm only saying this to you, my elder, because I love you. I'm saying this out of respect because I swear on life, I'm only 41. And when I heard the first thing you said, and I'm looking at your snow white wisdom that drapes from your beard, I'm listening. I heard him say, where I look for women. And then you talking about clubs and dating apps. I would love to talk to you behind scenes. I digress. My mic is.
Can I get in there? Thank you, brother. Salutations to the brothers and everybody. Thank you for having me on. Smitty, what's the deal, yo?
Oh, who's that?
Salute, brother Bolo. Salute. My brother in God. I love it.
Yeah, I see it right there.
Somebody named Brother Bolo. What's up?
What's going on, guys? What's going on?
Go ahead.
Here's the thing.
Oh yeah,
man.
I know that voice.
Here's the thing. To the elders, what you focus on is what you will then, what you will attract. And we have to understand your vibe will attract your tribe. You dig what I'm saying? So when you're doing the work on yourself and you understand who you are and what your intentions are and where your direction is, they have no other choice but to come. And that's our problem. Our problem is we spend so much time on the shorties that we don't want, and we spend no time on the shorties that we do want. You feel what I'm saying? You don't have to go out there looking, because your aura will automatically attract that to you. Now, you're going to get some scragglers with you also, but this is where you being patient, and I always give this example. If I have a $100,000 diamond, I've done the work, I've got the certifications and all these things. I'm not going to settle for 30,000. I'm selling for 100,000 because that's what it's worth. And the problem is, as men, we don't know our worth, so we can't demand our standard. So what do? We settle. We're not patient. So when you have that thought process and that aura, that spirit that Smitty is talking about and that Jeff is talking about, that vibration that you have that emulates that, women are automatically going to vibrate because they have no other choice, because this is what they're innately wanting. Now, those women that don't want that man that is in order, that man that has direction, that man that has integrity, that man that has character, that's going to shun them off. That's going to push them away. And those women that want that type of man, you're going to have to beat them off with a pole, with a stick. So you can't go to these places like the dating apps. These dating apps make these things so arbitrary, man, because you got to sit down and really have conversations with the woman to massage her mind, to understand what direction she's going in and if she's compatible to you. These dating apps is like cookie cutter. You go into a place, you find 5 different cars that look the same, but you are your own man. You're a different type of bro. So you have to understand that you have to find what is yours. And that's what Katz is talking about. We spend too much focus on these chicks that we don't want. Too much. We give them too much love when we should be spending that time on the shorties that we're supposed to be trying to emulate. Now, I'm married for 28 years, so I'm not in that dating pool. But the point of the matter, what these brothers are saying is, when you are who you are, they have no other choice but to follow. So when you have that Christ-like leadership, the only answer to that is submission, my G. That's the only answer to that.
All right. Hey, listen. Hey, thanks, Polo. We landed there. So, Jeff, go ahead, because I want to get Antoine on, because he's been waiting. But go ahead, Jeff. You have something to say about it.
Well, I just to co-sign what both of them are saying. Wow, I look, these Mexicans building a house next door. I don't know what the hell they doing. If you hear that saw in the background.
No, I don't hear it. We don't hear it.
Oh, y'all don't hear it? Man, it drives me nuts. To co-sign what they're saying, brother, you 53, I'm 59. What is sexy to both sexes is the dogged chase to your best self. You know what your best self is. Are you in your best diet? Are you in your best exercise? Are you in your best appearance? Are you in your best professional effort? Focus on that. Focus on being the best you, number one. Number two, there are some dating apps you can find if they're your age. There are, but remember, a dating app is just an electronic representation of a bar. It's nothing more. If you want to find a woman, in my opinion, and I hit the lotto, I'm good. But if I wasn't, tomorrow, I got 100 other things I would be worried about than female attention. If I go down to any major city in the afternoon on a work day and throw up a water balloon, I'm gonna wet the pantyhose of 5 women who fit this description. Over 35, fine, paid, no kids, and alone. I'm not worried about that. What I need to be worried about is, how do I look in my clothes? Who looks good as a man that I pattern myself after when I deal with my appearance? What is the best that I can look in this earth suit? What is the best I can do? Where are the best places I can go? And the best place you can go, brother, if you want to find a woman of substance, find a woman that's in the middle of helping somebody else.
Uncle Jeff, please, briefly, and salute, General. Absolute gems as always from the treasure chest of your mind. Look, we keep saying to him, find. No, it's make yourself seekable. See, the thing is this.
Point taken.
See, I called you a treasure chest. Treasure chests don't hop on pirate ships. You know what? There are many men who will sail many leagues of seas to find that treasure.
Whoops.
Right? So my point is
just
that
beat your point up with that word.
Right. So this is my thing, right? Like, for example, me, and I say this, and again, this is me only giving encouragement. It's not a brag. I don't give a F how you take it, but it's not a brag, it's encouragement. I came to the YouTube spaces primarily after my accident, like I spoke about. Ran over by a whole train, lost body parts. I walk again. Everything's good. But I didn't come to these YouTube spaces on some dating app type stuff. I didn't come here hoping I can wow and impress the women's. I came here because I have a message and a story, and I was chasing my purpose. You know what subsequently happened universally? She just came along. I never was looking for her. And one day, she came along. You see? So what I'm saying is that what I've recognized is this. Before that, I actually was on dating apps before. POF, BLK, all of these. Yeah, I was there. Retarded shit. But I'm going to tell you this much. I've noticed the difference between when I put my purpose on hold to find them, thinking that was my purpose. No.
Facts.
What I did was I put that shit down. I'm almost done. I'm landing right here, Uncle Jeff. I put it down. I put chasing women aside, and I started searching me. And I always say a solitude for the wise ones is considered to be opportunity. That same solitude for the fools is considered to be torture. So I'm not a fool. I took that opportunity of solitude. I went on ahead. I dug into myself. I found myself. And guess what? That woman found me subsequently, and I never was looking for her. I digress. My mic is muted. Rock out.
Hold on. Before anybody else goes, I saw that super chat. I want Antoine. Go ahead, Antoine. And after you go, Antoine. Hey, Antoine, can you hear me? Antoine, he can't even hear me. Antoine, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah, man. Go ahead. If you got something to say, go ahead and say it.
Yes,
man.
I can hear you. Sorry about that. As you can see, my daughter wanted to say.
Can I always come at the end of the show?
Yeah, hello,
Please.
young one. Okay.
Yeah, you have to go.
Why?
Yeah, I'm here. My daughter, as you can see,
Get that
is trying
nigga
to say
shape up.
hi to everyone.
Get that
That's
nigga
why.
shape up. Line him up. Line him up. You right there. Give him a shape up. Look at them clippers.
I'm about to shave.
I know you got some walls and some oysters.
Bruh,
What?
I'm gonna shave my head later.
Young lady,
I'm gonna shave my head later. Let me be.
Your daddy talking to
It's
young
all
lady.
good. Goddamn it. Look,
Hey, hold
look.
on,
If
everybody,
I
hold on,
fucks with you, it's because I fucks
everybody,
with you. Don't mind me
hold on for a
cracking
second.
jokes. Goddamn it. We all men up here. Stop all that
Yeah,
sensitive shit.
hold on for
Hold
a
on,
second,
so
man.
sorry.
I just want to say this. Listen,
Hey, bro, come on now, dog. Come on, man.
shit off. I do want to ask something before
We
Antoine.
here.
I want you to go, Antoine, but then I want Dr. Steele to give us some feedback on what he heard from these gentlemen. But go ahead, Dr. Steele. I mean, go ahead, Antoine. Go ahead and say what you got to say, man. What you say so far?
Not a problem. Not a problem. Not a problem. I hear what Smitty was saying about that list. I totally agree. We like to keep it short and we like to keep it simple. There was no need for like 11 or 12 different items. Just give me 2, maybe 3 items, and that's about it. That's all. That's all I need. We like to keep
Facts,
things as
Brody.
simple as possible. Sometimes it's easier. The less, the better. Also, I agree with a lot of the other brothers on the panel. Sometimes instead of us going out there looking for someone we want to be with, we have to make ourselves the person they want to desire. I was that type of person when I was younger, when I was looking to ready to settle down. I was doing the looking, I was doing the seeking and everything else. And then I remember somebody told me, make yourself the person that people want to be with. And that's what I started to do. I focused a lot on myself. I made myself better in other ways. I started to read. I started to interact and socialize. I did little things like that. And the place that I met my wife was actually at the job. That's how we met. I was looking and I tried the dating apps. I tried the clubs. I tried church. I tried plenty of places. And some
You
people would
allowed
tell
to mess
me,
with the
just let it
coworkers?
happen.
Yeah, I asked it. You said it. You said it. So tell us all about the coworker.
Yes.
Was it during the lunch or was it like a
Yes.
coworker birthday? What was it?
Yo, can we have
No, she just transferred into my department. And we just met from there. I thought she was a cool person. She really was a little bit more attracted to me. One night on my day off, I went and picked her up from work. I took her home. She really didn't know anyone in our work group. So when I took her home, we just sat and talked till the sun came up. After I dropped her off and she went inside, like I drove off heading home, I was like, yo, she's pretty cool. I didn't find out till later on. And I didn't find this out until the day of my wedding. I found an envelope that she wrote to me. And when I opened up, I read the note that she left for me. She said when she went inside after we talked, she knew she found the person she was going to spend the rest of her life with. She knew I was the one.
Man, respect to that, bro.
We've been together for.
Antoine, let me ask you a question, okay?
My whole life.
All right, so
What's up?
somebody got to go on mute because I hear a lot of feedback. Let me ask you this question.
Hold on. I'll go on mute.
No, but I'm asking you, can you hear me? So listen, you said that she didn't need to go through those 11 steps, okay? And I'm gonna just harp on this because I think some of this shit is just a lot of micro bullshit. Because the truth of the matter is, your love story probably hit more than just 1 or 2 of those goddamn steps. You know what I'm saying?
Your daughter's special. I gotta ask.
Hold on for a second. Hold on. Wait a minute before anybody say anything.
We grown men talking.
But let me finish saying what I gotta say, though, man.
Let him get it out, Uncle Jeff. Let him get it out. Go ahead, Payne.
So what I'm trying to say is, I think the guy was saying a lot of stuff. Maybe some of it we didn't ask for, but that letter that when she said that she wanted to marry you, she gave you one of those pointers where she told you that you were her number one choice. She didn't just say I respect you. She didn't just say I'm loyal to you. She said you are my number one choice. So when anybody tells me that everything that guy said was cap after he said respect, I don't agree with that. I think some people need to hear more than just a bare minimum, even if they are men. And so before we go down that rabbit hole, I still want to hear you guys sat up here and told Dr. Steele a whole lot of stuff. And I want to have him tell us what he heard. I'd like to hear that. Is that okay with you guys? I like to hear.
Man, respect to the elder. I love to hear from my elders, please.
Yeah,
Yes.
Can I say this?
Oh yeah.
Bruh,
Yeah, Uncle Jeff wanted to say
I'm gonna
something.
say this. We grown, we lions in here, bro.
Okay.
I got 5 kids.
Nah. Thank you, Uncle Jeff.
I got 5 kids.
Okay.
When I tell my kids that I'm talking, this is one of our problems with society, is that children think that their place is where ours is, and it isn't. We having a respectful conversation. If you was in the barbershop, would your daughter be doing that? I love my daughter. I would die for any one of my kids. Find somewhere and sit your ass down.
I hear you.
Amen.
I can get with Uncle Jeff on that. I'm sorry. I can't even I can't even disagree. Just
uncomfortable?
I second that.
And I third it, but we just trying to be cool.
What you say?
Yeah.
Admonish Antoine after a little while.
I'm just grown.
I want to hear from Dr. Steele what he heard from you guys, which is a little bit more important than chastising the brother for not being able to control his kids. All right, so go ahead, man.
No. Men pulled another man's coat to get him to be hip. No. See, the wording. Words aren't no, Brother Payne. Words are important.
I meant what
Uncle
I said.
Jeff just wanted to pull his coat, and actually he did it very smooth. That was actually very smooth.
Wait, Smithy, I don't want to argue. You don't think he knows that already? Antoine knows that already.
But some of us as men would say if he does, then why was it happening to the point where Uncle Jeff had to say something?
How about that?
Come on now.
Listen, if you want to be right, you can be. Dr. Steele, I want to hear what you got.
No, I don't want to be right. I want to observe.
It's done,
and then I want to respond upon my observation.
It's done.
Only.
Can Dr. Steele talk all right, Mr. Smithy? How about that? Is that okay?
Thank you, Brother Payne. I appreciate it. Hey, drop the cash out too. I'm going to go ahead and see some money. Hey, the brother's cool. He good. He's all right.
You're all right.
It's just Uncle Jeff pulled his coat. That's what men do. That's why I said it. Like I don't like the soft shit now.
Okay, we men. No, man. Go ahead, Dr. Steele. Go ahead and say what you got to say. If you have anything to say, tell me if you have anything to say based on that.
I agree with what Eli you're saying. In fact, all you on the same thing of, just do you. Okay, everything else will fall into place. And you're not the first people I've heard this from, okay, of just doing you, which is, I looked in dating apps, but I've also been working on me as well, okay? Now, the question is, am I at my best right now? And I feel that maybe somewhere along the line there's something missing. Okay, I'm doing everything else, but I think there's still something missing, and I'm trying to figure out what that actually is. Okay, so I'm definitely working on myself, and when I see what it is, I'll definitely know it. And like I said, you guys are not the first. You guys are not the first people to say this.
What do you mean something else is missing?
Did you see Bolo's number in the back chat?
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, yeah. What do you mean something else is missing, sir? What do you mean by that?
Well,
that's missing.
I mean that's what I feel like something is missing. I don't know what it is.
Something in you?
No, I was going to say it. I can promise you, my elder sage, whatever is missing, listen, I can at least give you this hint. It's not external. That's internal. Whatever's missing, there is something. There is a gap, a void, something within you that needs to be harnessed and it needs to be paid attention to.
Answer though.
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
He's answering, Brother Payne. Damn.
Brother, let him answer though. I'm not saying you can't say anything, but let him answer.
We just talking as men. It's okay.
I want him.
He's all right.
Let him answer, Smitty. Let him answer, Smitty. Go ahead.
My bad. I'm sorry.
And that's exactly what I'm talking about too. Something that is internal. Okay. But somewhere along the line, I'll figure it out.
But wait, look. Honestly, my elder, at your age, listen. I'm gonna tell you right now. I have a sense of urgency at 41 right now. Now, that only sense of urgency is not to become perfect, because I do believe that there's a lot of pressure for one to exude the totality of perfection, and no person is capable of such. I'm fully aware of that. All I'm saying is, at your stage of life, and I'm not discouraging you, I just, to really maybe get your gears and your nitros boosted, right? Because I think we need to shift this into that gear where you just kind of zoom past, right? Now, we do a lot of talk about women hitting a wall. Right now, I'm being God honest with you. I don't care what no man say, and I'm going to stand on it. I'm observing a man who's hit the wall. And I never thought I'd see that.
Well, you know that happens, Smitty. And you know, and what's the beautiful?
It's okay. I'm not. Listen.
No, I'm not saying you are.
This is for awareness. My bad. I'm sorry, brother Bolo. I'm sorry.
Let me shut up. The beauty of this here is, you know, when you have that village of men that create that space where it's okay to hit the wall, and brothers come together and put their minds together to figure it out from different perspectives, because all of us, we all see in one color. When we come together, that's when we paint that perfect picture. You dig what I'm saying? So we all need each other. And that's the beauty of it. The thing that, that I want you to focus on is this. A lot of us jump into the NBA and we're not ready to be NBA players. We don't have that foundation already built. You don't become an NBA player when you join the NBA. That foundation should be already set. So when you're saying that there's something missing, right, and you don't know what that core thing is, and it's going into what Smitty is talking about, that wall, that should be a pause to say to yourself, you know what, let me kind of figure that out, or kind of go into that direction and kind of figure out what is missing. Because here's the thing. A woman knows what she wants when she wants it. I don't care how many of them out there try to act like they don't. You get what I'm saying? And you don't need to, when you're that man that they desire, there's not too much maneuvering you need to do to get them to be who you need them to be. They willingly fall into that. You dig what I'm saying? So if you go into something guessing, a lot of you do that as young men, right? We go.
You're Borgen, brother Bolo. You're Borgen.
Yeah, you're on the dark side of the moon right now, bro.
Hey, real quick. Hey, so look, it's like this. My elder sage.
We didn't hear none of
that. The problem with
we
that.
didn't hear anything.
Oh, okay. A lot of us try to figure out how to be a father, how to be a man, how to be this thing in real time, when you should already have those foundations before you go into it, right? The scriptures tell you that a man that findeth a wife is a good thing. That means that she was a wife before she became a wife. And the way you find yourself a wife is that you already have the foundations of being a husband already. So you already saying that there's something missing. I don't want you to get into something not knowing what's missing, because that could be detrimental to your situation. You dig what I'm saying? So sometimes it's good to pause. Sometimes it's good to just spitball and kind of figure out what's going on so that you have that direction. Now, again, there is no perfect man. There is no perfect woman. We make them perfect for us, right? I make my wife perfect for me. You dig what I'm saying? Because there are certain things that I need. There's certain things that I want. And then, we deal and we coach and I give her direction. And vice versa, right? There's certain things that she needs as a husband, but there's a foundation that we all have. as men. There's a foundation that we all deal with. Now, it may be tweaked a little bit for each brother on this panel, but we still have that foundation that connects us. So when you're saying,
Bolo, let me ask him a question while you're talking there. You can go back.
Yeah.
Still, have you ever been married before? At all? No. Okay. All right. I mean,
I've been in relationships, but never been married.
Wait. What was the longest relationship that you've been in? What was the longest relationship that was the closest thing to a marriage-like form that you've been in? How long?
I think it was 7 years.
Ooh. Okay. Wow. All right. Go ahead. No. Let me just say this real quick. So I want to leave you with this, my elder, because I really do love you more than you know, and all of your well-being and mental health, right? Walls, even though I said, yeah, you have hit a wall, but walls can be climbed and or torn down. So I would say right now in this position, let's take the Spanish. Look at them sneaky motherfuckers. They can go around rivers. They can do, make tunnels, all kinds of things, right? So all I'm saying is that although I do see that you have hit a very, very it's like a four-way fork. It's like an actual fork. It's not just a split of a two rolls. It's actually four. So my point is, in which I'm saying right now, was that you can actually maneuver yourself through this. The only thing is that I would say, look at it like, to land it, you don't have no more time to waste, but don't rush at the same time. Keep yourself paced.
All right, so let's land it there, man. Listen, there's a lot of ladies in the chat calling us elder nerds, but I put a question to all the women.
That's you, nigga.
Wait, hold on for a second, Smitty. Let me say what I gotta say, brother. Listen, the one thing I want for the ladies, I asked all of y'all a question. How well do you measure up to my man's 11th step? Which one of you are willing to come up here and say that you would make yourself a marriageable woman by meeting anything that this guy had to say? So if you don't want to say shit in the chat, I like that. But I still haven't found any takers. Get up here, bring your asses up here and tell us how many of those things that you measure up to. And it'd be nice to hear that. Because this was just, no, Jeff, I wanted to hear.
I don't get to hold my hand up. That's not courteous.
Go ahead, Jeff. Go ahead, Jeff. Go ahead and tell me.
I was just being courteous. I wasn't trying to stop you. If you got to keep
going.
Go
ahead, Jeff.
I think and it's your show, but I think that's an absolute mistake. I think that all of this, what you're doing is you're the instructor telling everybody to come up here and do your homework.
No, I'm not. I want to hear one of them say what they think. I'm not asking them to do my homework for me. Don't you characterizing me?
I think you know why. Do you know why you misunderstood that? Because you didn't allow me to finish. Because that is not what I was saying. I was saying that you are the instructor telling them to do their homework here. All of this is rhetorical as to what, because it's too easy to argue. It's too easy to listen to them then speak and then undo it. Sisters, and again, and I'm going to say this, and then I got a jet. This is another one of the problems. Number one, a woman wants to be in a threesome with a man and his purpose.
Okay.
She wants to be in a metaphysical threesome with you and your purpose, which means you need to be laying pipe to your purpose when she drive up. Whatever that is, if you're going to be the best street cleaner or carpenter, whatever your purpose is, you need to be in the middle of that. Number two, to have them come up here is to put them on trial.
Yeah,
I don't. In my opinion, and again, it's your show. You do what you want to do, but what you're gonna find is a bunch of circular discussion. Look here. Can I say this in land? I'm gonna say this in land.
Yeah, but I don't want you to leave right away, though. I don't want you to leave.
I do, but I maybe I can come back, bro. I couldn't come up.
No. I just want to say something before you go. That's why.
I'll let you finish. Of course, that's rude. I would definitely listen to you, but what I'm saying is this: that's another one of our problems.
Okay.
Is how much we search this. Okay, come up here and tell me about your virtue. I don't give a fiddler's fuck about your virtue. That's your homework.
Nah, you're right.
That's on you. You go get it together and then come back.
Okay,
That's the
so
problem with brothers right now.
okay, hold on for a second, though, Jeff, because I'm not saying you're wrong, but I think two things could be right at the same time. One of the things I wanted to happen for this show was not to interrogate, but to get a point of view. I did want some rhetoric. I wanted some rhetoric to see what they had to say, because I precisely said, hey, listen, we're on these YouTube spaces saying there's very little women who are black women who are marriageable, right? And so we had a guy whose criteria might have been a little long for some and all that kind of stuff. And my thing, one question I had to the ladies was, well, how much of what he's saying can you relate to? Right. And I noticed that that's their homework, but it'd be nice to see if one of these ladies were brave enough to say, shit, man, he didn't say nothing that I ain't already. Right. And it doesn't mean we had to interrogate him or beat him down or whatever. I just wanted to, because we're up here for rhetorical conversation as well. Now, you guys came up, the guy, you and Smitty, I didn't know you guys were going to come here. And the focus kind of shifted to where we're talking about now, which I also appreciate. And I understand if women get involved in this kind of conversation we're having, it changes that dynamic. But they're still talking shit in the damn chat. And I thought it would be nice to go ahead.
Of course, this is what I'm trying.
You're missing my point. My point is, I was going to, if you guys didn't come up here, right? If they would have came up, that would have been good. But now that you're up here, I mean, you're telling me I should just abandon that thought, and that's fine because this show is.
It's not so much abandon it as brother.
I think what Jeff is saying is this. This is the problem that we're having in our community. The problem that we're having in the community is this. We have the men blaming the women blaming them, and what we're doing is not taking accountability and saying what's the dysfunction that we bring to the table. Let's deal with let's deal with what we need to deal with, right? Because at the end of the day, again, like I said to you, my wife has two choices. Either she gonna follow me or she gonna leave.
Right.
Those are two choices she got.
Because the grown man shit right there.
There are no other choices. So once we get our act together, they have no choice. But women follow power. It is what it is. Right, so it's either going to be wicked.
So here's what I'm saying. I understand what you're saying, Bolo. Okay, so, and I understand, but I wasn't going to ask anybody up here so we could argue.
No.
I wasn't going to talk. I hear what you're saying, but the fact that you said it to me, this is how I'm taking it. Right? I know that we need to focus on ourselves as men. I do know that. I do know that, but I hear so much on these spaces where we just talk at each other, and then we leave the other part of the equation out and say, well, that's the way it should be. And I'm saying, well, shit, that's not how I intended this show to go. But if it ends up this way, that's fine, because I appreciate you brothers coming up and a little bit of insight that we had now.
Can I respond?
You know what I'm saying? Go ahead. Yes, sir.
Here's the response to that. The problem is, this is the problem, right? One of the problems that I see in this space that we need to ignore, and hear what I'm saying when I say it.
Okay.
We need to ignore the other side. Okay. Because when we have the other side, when I say the other side, meaning women, when we have the other side speaking on what we're dealing with, then the conversation gets convoluted and then it goes left, right? Us as men, we need to get our act together. We need to get it together. Right. And once we figure out how to get our act together, we can open up the floodgates and deal with whatever we need to deal with. We don't have it together as a majority. We just don't. And when we don't have it together as a majority, we open up those doors. It shows weakness. I've seen plenty of panels where men are having conversations and, we talk about the black community and all that stuff. And the one thing that I say is, listen, in the black community, we have 6 brothers up here, and we can't get it together. Imagine a nation. You dig what I'm saying? So before I pay anyone else's phone bill, I got to pay mine. So before I start going to a woman and start trying to hear what her issues are with me or what she can add to this or what I need to understand who I am and what I need to do. Once I know what my focus is, once I understand what my tangibilities need to be, once I know what I need to do, then I will understand what I need her to do for me. You feel
I do hear what you're saying, but the point is, what you're saying also to me and all you guys up here, okay, Macho Man, and all of you guys, we're saying we should have conversations, and we shouldn't invite the women to the chat either. It should just be us men talking about this shit.
Hey, Brother Payne.
Wait a minute. Let me say what I'm saying. When I started this show, I intended to hear to go through those 11 steps and to hear what what a variety of people would have to say on their own, not to pass judgment or not. I wanted to start a dialogue there, but I understand the fact that we need spaces for men to get ourselves together. But let's not be like Don Quixote, going after Dulcinea and shit and never getting there, because we're not going to be able to solve shit just on our own.
Brother Payne, can I give you your notary stamp? Can I give you your notary stamp?
Yes,
because
sir.
What you're saying is dead ass on point. And I've said it for the 1,000th time, 1,000,000 times over. Do you know why the men's spaces is so confusing? It's so absolutely, I would say, weak and everything else. No real firm pillars to hold up the discussions of men. You want to know why? One main thing. Because the very men who are supposed to safeguard the gates of this fortress keep on letting the gates open to just anybody with no clear club card. We keep on letting in any and everybody into the discussion. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, any and everything that I have.
Any and everybody. What do you mean by, say exactly what you mean by any or anybody?
How many times have you seen a very productive discussion by men? I'm not talking about all the women. I'm not talking about all the women. I'm talking about a specific group of sisters. And from the chats all the way down to the actual panel, are there women who come up? No, hold on. You asked me a question. I'm gonna answer you. I promise you. I've been looking at this shit for a brick.
All right, brothers. I gotta run.
What I'm saying is that I recognize.
All right, now y'all take care.
Salute, Uncle Jeff. What I recognize is that there are, we have our spaces.
Right.
Trust me, I get it. The business aspect of it and everything else. Nobody wants to be on the panel with a bunch of dudes all day sword fighting, bro. Like, come on, man, stop playing, right? I get it. I get how we want to make the discussion and the dynamics a diverse aspect. And I get how we also try to make sure that we extend the red carpets to the ladies to make it very clear to them that we don't hate you and we actually love you. I see all of that. What I'm saying is this. When there are 12 seats at that round table and there are like 25 people in the room, that's where all the laws can get mixed up. That's where all of the discussion can get diluted. The fact is, in that room, there's a round table and there are 12 seats. I'm just giving an example. And there are only to be 12 councilmen to come into there. And those councilmen are all to be authoritative. They are all to be licensed, certified, the whole nine. We don't just let anybody come into any discussion. Try to go talk to a bunch of Italians on their shit on YouTube or a bunch of Spanish people. Try to go hop into any other dynamic or demographic of people. And just see if you can take your black ass over there and just get to running your monkey ass mouth and see what happens. I'm going to tell you right now, the fact is most people safeguard what is supposed to be sacred. And we got a hard time with that. We don't do it. But I digress. My mic is muted. Rock out.
Can I add to that a little bit?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Please do, Brother Bolo. Please do.
We have a lot of men that are speaking that should not be speaking. These are the conversations we should be having. There's certain dudes that shouldn't be talking, bro. For real. It's just real talk. There's a lot of dudes that are hurting. There's a lot of dudes that have gone through things and they give their message through their pain. And although their message might be right, it is tainted with that pain and hurt through it. So we got to get that right. You don't think that the women see that? That's the confusion. And that's the point. My wife has no other choice but to focus on me. I set the tone in my house. She doesn't. I do. So if we can't do that as brothers and come together as men, because when you see these conversations that these men have, it's out of order, completely out of order. A bunch of emotional men speaking on their dysfunction with no growth, but expect the world to bend to them, opposed to them being tenacious enough and malleable enough to understand their environment and bend it to themselves.
Yeah, Bolo, let me add to what you just said. I agree with you, and here's where I think when we know we're arrived, okay? This is how I feel about it. When we could be comfortable as men leading a panel with no matter who's on it without them disrupting that shit. That's what I'm thinking.
Facts.
Right? That's what we need to, whether it's women up here or just men. If this is my panel, I don't give a shit. I'm not going to let somebody come up here and just start spewing bullshit that I don't agree with. I mean, that's why I try to stay. I kind of say I'm challenging you guys, but the truth of the matter is, I had a method to this madness, and I appreciated that the show went this way, but that wasn't my original intent. I'm not afraid of women taking over the space that I'm in, because if I'm in control, they're gonna have to follow, or they're gonna have to get out. Right. So a lot of these other panels, when women come up, they let the women take over the whole goddamn panel. I ain't one of those kind of guys.
True say.
So all I'm just trying to say is, I was really curious to see if any of these goddamn women could fit the bill that guy was talking about. You know why? Because a lot of those women want to be married. Some of them do. And if they can't even measure up to that guy's 11 steps, then there was something for them to reflect on, not us. I'm not trying to fix it for them. That was my intent. But go ahead.
Can I say something? What's going on, Bolo and everybody? Hey, listen. So let me say this.
Go ahead. Some of them need to see by example.
The Bible says.
Need to see.
Oh, go ahead. Want me to go? You want to go
No, go ahead.
No. I was going to say the Bible says, "Be still and know." Right. And we're sitting here on the panel tonight. You said you wanted to see if women could fit that bill and come up here and see if they could fit that bill. You sat still long enough. Nobody showed up that gave you your answer.
Yeah, I hear you.
Nobody clicked on the link. Nobody was bold enough. No woman was bold enough. If there's not a woman in this chat, let me say this, and I love everybody. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for always supporting the network. I'm not saying anything personal to anyone specifically. I'm saying that if there's not a woman in the chat that will come up here and say, you know what? I am just like that woman. I'm single and I'm looking to mingle. I'm looking to be available for the man that's going to find me. No woman is going to say that. They're not going to come up here and say that to you. You got your answer.
Gotcha. No, I hear you. I hear you. But I just want to Bolo and even Smitty, though he left, to understand. I understand where they're coming from. And in terms of men having their space to say and to get the things off we need to say, and to try to go ahead and build from there. But I think the ultimate is when we could be in a room with men and women and still be in charge. That's
I agree with you. And listen, again, I believe that what the brother said in the video was.
Oh, did you break out? I can't.
You in the Matrix.
Yeah, you dropped out, brother.
Creed.
Bully breaking up. Say it again.
Yeah, you broke up a little bit.
That's the two. I'm sorry about this. I mean, I believe that sometimes you have to be able to give. I'm very long-winded, and I want to make sure that straight talk gives you straight understanding. So what the brother broke down, I love the way the brother broke it down as far as, the 11 things that he needed as far as respect and all that. Some brothers are more, this is what it is. Cool. So again, the scripture says, listen so that you know how to respond. So again, depending on the audience that you are in or around or speaking to will determine how you give those breakdowns, right? Some, you might be talking to a audience that only needs 2. Then you might be talking to an audience that needs the 11, and right. If a woman comes up, I'm always up for the conversation. It's a beautiful thing inclusion is beautiful. Inclusion is beautiful. And it's an awesome thing. to have them up here and participate in the conversation and see us figure things out in real time. That's an awesome thing, man. And I do agree with the idea of what you're doing. It's an awesome thing to include them, to show that we're not just excluding you out. We want you to participate in this from the ground up. That's an awesome thing. And I'm not against talking to a brother, because this is why, again, the problem with showing your face, is you can't be authentically you in most situations. Dig what I'm saying? When you show your face, especially as Black men, we have this stigma and this, this thing that we can't show weakness. We have to continuously be that Iron Man at all times, and when you don't show your face and no one knows who you are, you can be authentically you. So I can tell you, Brother Steele, I'm weak today, man. You know what I'm saying? I had a bad day. I can call you, and just feel bad or cry. There's nothing wrong with that. That's what we need to be able to do as brothers. But because we have that stigma, that machismo, we can't do it. We can't do it. You have a lot of brothers that speak up on these panels that are going through some things, man.
There's no doubt about that.
They're going through.
There's no doubt about that.
And looking at it from a counselor's perspective, when they tell you I'm a alpha and I'm this and I'm that and I'm this, I'm that, what it says to me is you're not that in your real life. So you come to YouTube to portray that and project that into the world. Because a man doesn't need to walk into the room and say he's an alpha. He is what he is.
It's true. True enough. True enough. Hey, listen, Neo Moses, you got anything else to say? You've been quiet. I know you've just been listening, but
I'm the young guy, so I'm just listening, and I think for me,
stop making us feel old, man.
I've spoken to, just respect, Sage, respect to y'all.
Yeah, that's good.
I've spoken to Bolo before offline, so we had conversations. It's been a minute. I've talked to you in a minute, Bolo.
Yeah.
It's interesting hearing these conversations because I don't know if you know, which I found this out yesterday because I was on my way leaving the state of Texas to another state. It's funny because I found this out. Surprised this is a thing now because Kevin, when he passed, there's actually a new thing out there. He created. I'll send it to you, Black man. I'll send it to you off BMU. It's he created a channel with a few ladies. It's actually called Wives Club, and I was just interested by this. And I tuned in and this by this lady named Maggie, Black lady. She was on the Lead Attorney channel. So I brought this up
Maggie, the
because
substitute teacher.
yeah, she's amazing. She's awesome.
I like her.
Yeah, I like her a lot, and I've been noticing what she's been saying, and I think she does so well breaking down Kevin's past videos with the two or three of the ladies on the panel, of four of them. So it's been insightful to hear those ladies speak on those topics because they're attracting women that want to get better. And I say this because maybe this could be something in the future for ladies to look at because honestly, a lot of ladies don't find women coaches that are honestly authentic because it seems like a lot of ladies are not sure how to talk to certain ladies about their past issues or current issues, and they try to wing it alone. And I tell ladies all the time, you should never face issues in your family or in your life by yourself. You need to have women that teach you, like the Bible says in Titus, older women teach the younger women, and we need that. You know what I'm saying? And they're not looking for that as the way it says in scripture because they don't know how to find it. They just assume that Instagram is who they find out who they are and based on someone they like and say, oh, I like this woman because she can cook. But can you reach out to her to talk to her about where you're at in life to get better and get consultation? Um, but the Wives Club, I don't know if BM you could ever bring Maggie. I think you should really hit her up and sorry.
Yeah, Maggie's good. Yeah.
Yeah, hit her up.
Maggie's good. She's good. But
Yeah,
you know what
she's
I found out too, bro, Neo? You know what I found out too?
Yeah.
That it's easier to heal a child than it is to mend a man.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Because as a man, we're so full of this ego and pride that what what holds us back and what puts those walls up so that we can't crush through them is our past, whatever it might have been. You know what I'm saying? So again, we have to be able to bring a closure to the past so that we're able to walk through the present and prepare for the future. Life is meant to be lived forward but understood backward. And that's what we have, right? Because a lot of the times when we're talking to the brothers and we're talking to the sisters, a lot of the times they don't want to realize that they're the problem. Because it's easier to say Steele is the problem, Neo is the problem, you know what I'm saying? Or the brother that's the host of this channel, he's the problem, right? Because once you know that you're the problem, you then have to become a solution. And that's where you have to start to work. And in this society that we have now, we've become lazy when it comes to relationships. We're lazy.
You're right. So one of the things that, and I think that we didn't really veer that much off course, but because the truth of the matter is, if you just look at the title of this whole live stream, is to combat the notion that there's no marriageable women out there, right? The numbers are low. The statistics will tell you that. But you don't necessarily have to have a passport to find a good wife, right? And even though I'm 100% for the passport bros, I sponsor one too. But the fact is that I'm saying that if you want something, just like anything else, if you want it bad enough, you'll look for it. It'll come find you, or you'll put yourself in a position to find it. One of the things I tell men that when I was looking for a wife, I put my self in a position to recognize her when I saw her. So a lot of guys are not in a position to recognize a good thing when they see it, especially some of the young cats, because they're looking to just smash. If you're looking to just smash, you're going to miss it. Just like women miss good men because those guys are in their orbit, but they friend zone them. And some of those guys, or one of those guys, will be the best husband they would ever have, right? But if you don't meet some of the stupid criteria they have, they just miss it. And 30% or 40% of men are invisible to women. If they don't have a certain aesthetic, they can't even see them, And so, I mean, I don't know how to solve that. That's why I'm saying, you know what? Women hear it from men also, right? A lot. You guys are not marriageable. That's why you're the lowest on the totem pole. And I'm just keep going back to the theme of this. So here's one guy who said he found one, right? He's handsome, but guess what? A couple of years ago, he was 350 pounds. That same guy who had that 11 step. So he conformed himself. That's what we were talking about. Conforming, became the best self. Went to the gym, built some muscles up, and all of that kind of stuff. 2 failed marriages. This wasn't a perfect guy. So he went from that to finding a woman that he wants, because you know what? He put himself in a position to recognize her when he saw her. And I think that's the deal. And I think that's what men have to do. If you want something, you first mentally have to be in a position to see it when it presents itself to you. That's what I thought. That's what happened for me.
I want to say this one thing real quick if I can. The thing that gets me about the whole situation is it's great, man. The dude lost the weight, man. I mean, I know he got a channel on how he did it. That'll help a lot of people. The thing for me is I would love to see how this relationship would look, because he said they meet each other on more. So he said this. They're not non-believers. He said he's very spiritual and she's very spiritual. She comes from a very spiritual background, and so does he. I would have liked to see the relationship where they both live in separate homes. They're not shacking up and they're not having sex, to see what the attitude is then without him smashing that fine piece of woman every day. Because that's a fine. Listen, I'm telling you. Listen, when sex blurs the vision for your journey, but it gives you instant gratification. So that was good. I'm gonna write that down. So what happens is he in there hitting that thing every night. She fine. She walk out after she got to bed in the morning, button. He like, yeah, look what I got. But I would have liked to see if they would have abstained from sex, lived in separate homes, not living together, and she's making him wait to marriage to see what his attitude would be.
Absolutely.
Like.
Absolutely. That's why they tell you, like, I don't know if you guys ever seen what's that? Damn, I forget the name of the movie, but The guy said, "You've been walking around with your gun loaded." Like, remember, he had to tell the dude to masturbate so that you can think clearly.
Yeah, I think I might have heard that.
Something about Susan, something about Mary.
Yeah, something about that. Hey, take heed, how you doing?
Yeah, because it's not until we climax that we come to our real sense and go, "What the hell did I just do? This chick here, she's not what I really want." You know what I'm saying? So again, what Black Man is saying is 100%. You know, and this is the thing. The thing is, you know, the reason why these women can't see the men that they want, and the reason why the men can't see the women that they want, is because they are not that person yet. And that's the point. They are not that person. Like what you were saying.
Bolo, you're not saying they're not that person because they're having premarital sex. I mean, no.
What I'm saying is no. What I'm saying is you have to understand that when you
I'm saying it.
I know you saying it. Yeah.
Like you have that bear. When that bear eat that blood, eat that human blood. That's all it can understand now. That's all it wants.
No,
so when you introduce, listen, the human brain doesn't finish developing until the age of 28. Till the age of 28, and you're introducing these euphoric feelings to this young man and this young girl at a certain age that they don't know how to process. That's the thing that they're going to go for. That's what Black Man is talking about. So when the Lord tells you, men teach your young men, women teach your younger women, let's put the good foot forward. We understand the pleasure is going to come, but the pleasure only lasts. Love, we marry for the feeling of love opposed to the action of love. Love is an action, my G. It's not a feeling.
No, I understand that too. I mean, but the point, but what's the point you're trying? Listen, I understand how we think it should be, as opposed to how it is, right? Because most of us who are married and happily so, me going on 37 years, you 28 and all that kind of stuff. Everybody, very few of us didn't pop out our honeys before we got married.
Absolutely.
All right.
I agree.
So what I'm saying is, but here's the kicker, right? Here's the deal. And just as what the brother said, and I think we were, because he was maybe it was too late in the steps. He said that her sex wasn't the number one thing on the list, even though he said it was great, right? I enjoy having, sex with my wife, but that's not why I married her.
I agree. And that's the point but that's the point that Black Man and I are saying to you, that when you prioritize, a lot of these men and a lot of these women don't know what it is to be a woman or a man before I become a husband or a father.
I agree with that, but that's regardless of the sex, though. That's beside that has to almost be beside the sexual encounter, because we know people who have successful relationships and they did have premarital sex, but they didn't get lost in it. So all I'm just trying to say is there's other reasons why people don't get together, and it's the intangibles. There's other reasons why these relationships don't work, and it's not necessarily sex. Because
it's not about sex. The foundation, the reason why these relationships are not working is because they're going into this thing as a guess.
Exactly.
You don't know who you are as a man. You don't know who you are as a woman. You didn't do the work on you. You don't know what your value is. You don't know what you deserve. So at the end of the day, you don't know what to look for. So that's the point to make. So again, the human brain finishes developing at 28.
But so still, you're trying to get well, we were saying shit though, Bolo. Let me just kind of push back, because people used to get married real fucking young, man. I mean, real young. If they were still teenagers. By the time I was 26, I was ready to get married. By the time I was 18, I knew what I wanted to do. But here's the difference. It doesn't matter whether my brain was fully there or not.
I mean, our pain. I saw a picture. My grandmother got married at 14. I saw a picture of her. She didn't look like that girl in this video. Second of all, and I want to say this, man. I'm telling you, sex has been ruining kingdoms for centuries. And when I tell you sex will blind a man, if she would have, I'm telling you, if she would have made this man wait, I wanted to see what his response to this woman would be if there was no penis in vagina.
And let me add on top of what BMU was saying. Again, when you're talking about back in the days of 14, 15, you had the village, my G. We ain't got that no more. We don't have the village. So what you're doing is you're trying to compare apples and oranges, right? Back then we had a village. If I saw BMU son acting up, I whipped his behind and then brought him to BMU.
You talking to me? I understand all of that. What I'm just trying to say is, if you bring up what you're saying in the modern world, in order for you to correct, for us to have a correction based on how you think it should be, what's the distance behind? So what's the distance between what it is now and the way you think it should be? You too, BMU. This shit is it ain't never going back.
They should not. I don't care what you say. They should not. I don't care what you say. They should not be in the same house, living like they're already married when they're not. And he's building his confidence. He's building his confidence.
I understand that. I agree with you on that.
He's building his confidence through the woman instead of building the confidence as his own.
Boom.
Okay. All right.
The woman is supposed to add to him, not complete him. He's supposed to be completed, my G.
I'm with you on that one. I'm with you on that.
You know, and that's the issue. You know, we're falling. What's happening is that when we were back in the days when we were all growing up, all of us on this panel, our reach was maybe 4 or 5 blocks. Right. So the shorty that you wanted to talk to is 4 or 5 blocks. So you knew what you were capable of doing and what you couldn't. Now we can reach a chick in Bangladesh. You know what I'm saying? So the reach is further. Now on the internet, you can become anything you want through this mystical thing that we call the internet. There is no work. These young kids now, when it comes, they're not tenacious at all. They fold like $2 wallets when it comes to pressure. It's not like, and it's just society. Society have created 50-year-old teenagers, my man. When you look at the right.
You break it up again.
Man, it's like getting to the good part.
Yeah, Bolo, you broke up again.
While he's trying to get back, hey.
What's Anissa at? Was she?
Anissa said she wanted to come up and have a conversation. Anissa, go to the top of the chat, baby. Matter of fact, let me put the thing. She's gonna come up here. So she's bold enough to make the transition. Hold on, just a second. Let me get her in here. All right, there it is, right there, sweetheart. we got 8 minutes left in it. Well, 8 minutes left in this show. So hurry up.
Yeah, we'll be quick. I just want to ask her a couple of questions, I guess. And she you know, we needed Lauren Mack to get her ass up here, you know. But well, okay. So when she come up, so whenever you're with us, just give us a high sign in this.
And here's another thing too: why men need to work on themselves too, our Payne, is because the coping skills and all of that. These young men are getting into situations where, you know what I'm saying, that they don't know how to cope. So when their woman do something, the first thing they want to do is lay hands on her. You know what I'm saying? So the coping skills, the being able to see their father say, you know what, let me walk away from this situation. This thing is not easy. Being a man is not easy. It's a growing pain every day, all day. There's so many hats we wear. This is not an easy thing to do. So when these young men try to jump into it, it's overwhelming.
But you know, Bolo, you just said something that's important, right? Because I always say that one of the reasons why so many men are turning into Rainbow Coalition is because they don't want the pressure of being men. A lot of them. You know, it's a lot of pressure being a man. So I can dig it. You know, some people ain't built for it. And now the society has made it okay that you don't have to be. You can just go ahead and change and be pampered to. I think that's why we got such an increase, especially with the Gen Zers.
Yeah,
but, which is sad, you know. So I don't know. So we are in this up. But anyhow, listen, we have Embrace the Grace coming up soon. So if Anissa comes up, we'll be able to just say hello to her. And I would like to hear what her thought was on the 11 steps that my man was talking about. I know she's unmarried, so uh, but let me tell you, I'm not disappointed with the direction that this live had went into. I think it was important. Dr. Still, thanks for giving us somebody to focus on. But you know what, man? I tell you what, they do have some apps that work for older people, but sometimes you have to get out there and get your, go with thick skin. I wouldn't feel crazy at all. A lot of guys try to have an approach for women. Sometimes hello is all you need to say.
That's it. Just be you, baby. There's no one better than you. There's only one Steele on the planet. Be the best you can be, because there's no one like you. That's it.
Yeah,
you ain't gotta create no damn avatar to make you look cock diesel on these apps. Just baby. And look, Steele, my number's in the back, brother. If you want to, talk, please give me a call. I'm available. Let's kick it. Please.
Yeah, that's cool. Because it's funny though, because I used to say to myself, but back in the day when there was no apps, I said when I said hello to a woman and she didn't throw up in the back of her throat when she saw me, I said, okay. I said, one step already taken, man. But man, our skins are so thick based on how we used to have to approach women in the past. I just can't even get with their new guy. I really can't.
You can stop it.
If you can focus on you and work on you, and
that's all. Anyway, so BMU, let's get some final thoughts. If this comes up, then it's great. But go ahead, Dr. Steele, you got some final thoughts for us?
Yeah.
Best version that you can be.
It's still going.
That woman will find you, bro. That woman will find you. And that's our issue.
All right. Go ahead, Dr. Steele. Go ahead. Get your final thoughts in there.
Yeah. It's been a while since I've come across a panel like this where men are helping each other. I know y'all are helping me. And I really appreciate it because
we got to go on mute, somebody.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you, because I have seen so many panels lately where, people are just acting wild all the time. And, that's not very helpful to each other. It's not very helpful to the listener. And, it's been a while since I've seen a panel like this. Now, I've always believed that, there are women who are willing to do whatever to, marry a man or be with the man. I've always believed that. But it's a matter of finding them. But like you said, and like I said, you're not the first guys who said, men need to make sure they work on themselves, because there's another group of guys I listen to who say similar things. I think it's gotten to the point where that's all you can do, just to be the best version of yourself. And I will reach that point very soon. I would have loved to see what Anissa has to say.
She's up here. She's up here. So hang on. She's right after you. I'm gonna bring her up. I mean, she's on the audio. So if you want her to go ahead and speak, let her get it. Anissa, are you there?
Yes, I am.
All right, sis. How
Hello,
you doing?
gentlemen.
Hello. So did you see the video?
I did.
Okay, so give me your impressions of that, and then give me your impressions of, just give me your impressions of that first. Go ahead.
I actually thought it was a good video. I had absolutely no problems with any of the things that he said that he was looking for in a wife. I think that those things were very traditional, though. And he came across as someone that was also traditional. So he was looking for traditional qualities in the woman that he was choosing to marry. Now, I would love to know the backstory of why he had already been married 2 times before. But I'm maybe just giving him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he did the personal work. Like you said, he lost weight, he got himself in shape, so maybe he was in a better position to be able to attract and command what he wanted in his third and hopefully last wife. But I think the key was that the values were very traditional. They were not modern values.
Well, when you say that, when you say that though, we throw the word traditional around there, but where is the distance between the kind of woman he said his girl is and a woman that's marriageable? I mean, why would anybody marry something less than that? I mean, everything he said, I could find in my wife. Now, I wasn't astute enough when I married her to say I had that list there, but empirically, I see all those qualities. Respect, she was all over me. That's number one. Number two, I mean, she was still at home, two family household. She was young enough. And here's the thing that bothered me. Here's the thing that most men miss. That's why I never asked my wife about a body count. Here's what a lot of men miss. It's not about, because none of us are looking for, in this day, we don't look for virgins. We look for virtue. And virtue means, that doesn't mean you have to be a virgin, but can I tell by the way you move that there's still some bonding tissues left in you that we could chemically bond together? My wife isn't flirtatious. She never has been. I never had to compete with her for her attention. Social media wasn't there at the time. So you could tell by the way a woman moves. And a lot of guys don't know how to measure that. Just like a woman could tell the difference between an incel and a gigolo, I could tell the difference between a woman who's a goddamn hoe and one who, is a little bit chaste, right? Because they don't move the same. They just don't move the same. And can you be fooled? Yeah. But, a lot of women ain't good at that. If you're astute, you'll catch her after a while. She'll tell on herself. So anyway, in this, what I'm saying is what he said about her, when we call it traditional, I'm trying to say, where's the difference between, where was the thing that the modern women don't have that maybe that's the secret on why nobody wants to marry him, because those little things were basic that he said, basic shit. I mean, that's what I thought. I mean, we don't have to go through the whole 11 steps again, but it was pretty basic. He didn't say anything untoward where this woman had to be some kind of captain of industry or some shit to be a good woman.
Okay,
So,
but listen, Payne, you guys talk about this all the time, and you talk about today's woman, and you talk about modern women. Okay, that's why I said the qualities that he listed to me were very traditional. How many? When you look at the younger women today, and you all talk about the rate of children, single mothers, and how many children have been raised in single mother households. So how many women, modern women, are going to have seen two parents, a mother and father in a home? How many modern women, wait.
No, I'm not going to say no.
How many modern women have seen a dad in his rightful position as head of the house, protector and provider, and saw a mother in her rightful position, cooperative, submissive, and all of that? That has been out the window for a very, very long time. So it baffles me when we sit up here week after week after week, and we are just amazed that relationships aren't working, because most men have not seen that type of man growing up. And I don't care what y'all say, it does not just come by osmosis. You have to have seen some of that growing up.
Okay, so
And the same thing for the women. How are you going to know how to be that type of wife if you have never ever seen it?
No, okay. So the same thing, the same amount of men too. They didn't have a. I don't know where he got these traditional values from. Obviously, in his first two marriages, he might not have had them, right? Because he had two failed marriages in there. So you're correct in terms of the one thing he emphasized is that she wasn't from a single mother household. But
right
again, in this backdrop, let me finish in the backdrop. In the backdrop, that's not why we have the title of this show, right? So he had a quest for a marriageable black woman, but the prerequisite, it wasn't for everybody that she has to come from a single a two-parent household. Are we saying unless you come from a two-parent household, a black woman can't be marriageable?
No, I'm
We're
not
not saying
saying that,
that.
but I think it makes a big difference. I think it
I,
makes a
I
big
agree. I
difference.
agree with that. So, are you agreeing that we're down to a bare minimum eligible black women just because of their parentage? Are you saying that? You're not really saying that, are you?
Am I saying what again? I'm
Sister, I don't
sorry.
know we got a new sister up here. What's your name? You just came up on the panel.
Alicia.
Okay. It's all right.
What's up,
All right.
Alicia?
So Anissa, you got anything else? Because I want the other young lady to say something. She's chomping at the bit. She
Oh no,
chomping.
she can go ahead. No problem.
Okay, go ahead, Alicia. How you doing?
Can you all hear me?
Yes, we
Yeah.
can. Did you see the
Okay,
video?
good. I see there's a delay. No, and how are you all doing? Good
Okay,
evening.
I'm doing
fine.
great. Good
Fine.
evening.
No,
Welcome
no, I'm
aboard.
not aware of the video, the 11 steps. I'm kind of late to the panel.
Yeah, we run into the next show, but okay, but what do you have on the topic in general? We don't need to see the video. Kind of know what we're talking about, right? We're looking for the marriageable black woman. Are you married?
I'm actually getting divorced.
Oh,
I am looking to, at some point in the future, to remarry. But
is that right?
yes, absolutely, absolutely. I believe the yin and the yang is crucial to our overall health. The masculine and the feminine. So I am looking
Not
at some point to remarry.
not to be
All right,
personal, but how long was your marriage, man?
I'm sorry.
How long was your marriage?
12 years.
Oh wow. I'm so sorry to hear.
That's
So
okay.
you
Thank
got
you.
married in your 20s? You got married in your 20s?
Yes, I was 25.
Oh, okay. All right. So I
I
would
noticed
assume
the
you have,
video was a delay.
yeah, that's all right. You have children as well?
Yes, we have one beautiful daughter. She's 13.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. No reconciliation?
No.
No.
You guys Christian?
No, not religious. And thank you all. And about the topic, I guess I can only speak from my perspective. Because I haven't been on the market for many, many years. But on the topic, I think it's a challenge for me to determine, I guess, the quality of man that I would like to have. Because I feel that there is a lot of ego and social pressure for people to behave a certain way. And it tends to mask who a person really is. And there are just a lot of actors and actresses out there. So,
No, I hear you. But when you say ego, are you talking about your ego or the man's ego?
the man's ego.
What about yours?
Oh, it's there. It's definitely there. But
All
I
right, so
am.
how do you reconcile? Not the man's, but how do you deal with yours?
Great question. I look at the bigger picture, really.
Okay.
Priorities. My priority is to have someone as long as I can, to be there for someone and have someone be there for me. I'm all about trust and respect. For me, at this point in my life, I feel love comes later. I think trust and respect are most important aspects of a relationship.
I certainly wouldn't disagree with that, And you do know that it's treacherous out here on those streets, right? Those dating
Yeah,
streets.
yeah,
You
yeah. I've
okay?
seen that.
So
I've
you
seen
feel
that.
you want to step out into that shit, man? Are you
Yeah.
kidding me?
I'm scared what y'all believe because
I think that when I get to that point, I'm going to look at a matchmaker, possibly,
Okay.
because I really don't have the patience. I don't believe I have the magic to weed through what's out there.
I hear you.
Yeah.
So let me ask you one person: is your ex-husband, still in the child's life, your daughter's life?
No, unfortunately.
Oh no, that's the bad part there. All right, but
Yeah,
we don't have to go
yeah.
no deeper than that. So
Thank you.
yes, sorry to hear that.
okay. Anyway, so So let me just throw this out at you. This is Dr. Steele over here on this panel. He's looking for love, man. You know, he's looking for love.
Were you all speaking to me or to the panel in general?
Yeah, you just came up right on time. See how the Lord works, Dr. Steele?
Works in mysterious ways. I don't know what to expect.
You all are beautiful people, gentlemen. Thank you all for being you and having this.
So are you anywhere? I mean, you have a channel or something, or Anissa, you have any questions for the young lady, or do you know her already?
No, this is my first time meeting her. I don't have any questions per se.
I do.
Go ahead,
I do. Miss Kathleen, just hold on just a second. Miss Kathleen hired me this evening. This is me and
Thank you.
In the backstage tonight, letting them enjoy their show tonight. However, I like your point of view. Everybody doesn't have to agree or disagree with what you have going on, but I do like your perspective and would like to have it more. What are your Tuesdays looking like?
They are very free right now.
Okay, so I would love to have you on our panel tomorrow with you'll see Anissa, who's on with us right now, Embrace the Grace, who is amazing, along with Take Heed to the Message. So you have a circle of ladies on tomorrow. So I would love to have you. So if you would, in the back chat right here, you could put your Instagram and or email address, and I would definitely send you the link for the show tomorrow.
Okay, I'll add my email. I'm relatively new to social media. I kind of stepped back for years, so I'm just now getting back into it. So my email, that's the best.
Yeah. Just put your email in the back chat, and that'd be great. I'll email you tonight. I'll email you the link tonight.
Okay, thank you. What a pleasure.
Where we at on time here, though? I know we're
you overshot it by 10 minutes, sir.
I overshot it. Hey, listen, we're gonna have to end the show, so because we have another show coming up with Embrace the Grace.
Stay around, Kathleen. Go out and come back in. It's another show. Embrace the Grace's show is up next.
Okay, yeah, and so and Lisa, all I would say to you is, if you get a chance, go back on the replay on this video and look at the guy, the way he looked at a marriageable woman. Just if you were curious, he went through his 11 things. It's like a 10-minute little piece in there. You could bypass my diatribe just to get right to it. You know what I'm saying? Even though I think you should listen to that part too. Anyway,
I will.
Everybody, hey, listen, everybody in the chat, all the fellas that came up and going, Dr. Steele, Neo Moses, Bolo, BMU, Black David, everybody, thank you, man. Let's go ahead and
Miss Kathleen.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Miss Kathleen, you can send me an email at Black. You can send me an email at blackfilter@gmail.com.
Oh, you're breaking up, sweetie.
Yeah, you're breaking up.
Hold on. Stay right there. Hold on just a second.
Oh, I'm looking at the chat here.
Okay. I said, now you can hear me? Yeah, you could go to blackmanunfiltered@gmail.com.
Okay.
And you can email me there just to send me a quick email, blackmanunfiltered@gmail.com.
Okay.
And that'd be great. And I'll send you the link tomorrow. Tonight for tomorrow.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. I will see y'all tomorrow. Y'all have a great night. Go over to the other show.